Agromet Advisory Services, Remote Sensing and Climate Resilience in the Agri-Horti Systems. May I now invite Professor B.V. Ramana Rao, sir, onto the dais. Former Project Coordinator, Agriculture Meteorology, CREDA. May I request Dr. Y.S. Ramakrishna, sir, former Director, CREDA, to come on to the dais. Dr. Y.S. Ramakrishna, sir, former Director, CREDA. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and gracing today's program. May I invite the next eminent professor, Dr. V.U.M. Rao, sir, former project coordinator. Dr. V.U.M. Rao, sir, is a former project coordinator, Agriculture Meteorology, CREDA. May I now request Dr. N.V.K. Chakravarti, sir, former head, Agricultural Physics, IARI, New Delhi. A big round of applause to all the eminent professors who have graced us to this program. May I now request Dr. K.K. Singh, sir, former Additional Director General of Meteorology, IMD, New Delhi. May I now request Dr. Y.G. Prasad, sir, former Director of Central Institute for Cotton Research, Nagpur, onto the dais. May I now request Dr. B. Srinivas Rao, sir, Professor, Horticulture, to please come onto the dais. Now I request President of today's program, our Vice Chancellor Sir, to felicitate our Chief Guest, Honorable Chief Guest Dr. Mrutyunjay Mohapatraji. A big round of applause to Sir. B.V. Ramana Rao. Now we also have a photo frame prepared by Dr. Professor B.V. Ramana Rao Sir, which has to be unveiled now to Dr. Mrutyunjay Sir. A photo frame gifted by Professor B.V. Ramana Rao Sir to the Chief Guest, Honorable Chief Guest. Thank you, Sir, B.V. Ramana Rao Sir. He has written a poem on this. We'll be playing in the tea break. We'll be displaying that in the tea break. Now I request our President Vice Chancellor Sir to felicitate distinguished guest Sri Raghunandan Rao Sir, IAS, APC, for accepting our invitation and gracing today's program. A big round of applause, please. And I also request President, Vice Chancellor Sir and other dignitaries to felicitate Dr. Pramod Kumar Agarwal ji, eminent speaker, regional program leader, CIMED, Borlaug Institute of South Asia, New Delhi. And Sir is also going to deliver a keynote lecture on this in this conference after the tea break. And also request President of this function program to felicitate Srimati Sheikh Yasmin Madam, Director of Horticulture, for gracing today's program. Now I also request Vice Chancellor Sir and other university officers to felicitate Sri B. Uday Bhaskar Sir, Chief General Manager, NABARD, Regional Office, Hyderabad. And also request our dignitaries to felicitate Sri B. Narasimha Rao Sir, Additional Director of Agriculture, representing Director of Agriculture, Government of Telangana. Now I request Organizing Secretary of this conference and university officers to felicitate our President of today's program, Vice Chancellor Sir, please. I request Honorable Chief Guest to do the felicitation to our Vice Chancellor Sir, who is the presiding officer for this entire conference, who has taken lead in organizing this conference. Thank you very much, sir, for your encouragement and motivation. I request dignitaries to kindly be seated. Now we have a most important talk by our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Mrutyunjay Mohapatraji, Director General of Meteorology, IMD New Delhi, and the third Vice President of World Meteorological Organization, and he is commonly known and is popularly known as Cyclone Man of India. A big round of applause to Chief Guest for gracing this today's program and for his valuable message, addressing the message. Thank you, sir. We welcome.
Namaskar, good morning to all of you. Honorable Vice Chancellor of Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana Horticulture University, Hyderabad, Dr. D. Raji Reddy, respected M. Raghunandan Rao, IAS, APC and Secretary Agriculture and Cooperation, Government of Telangana, Dr. Pramod Kumar Agrawal, Regional Program Leader, CIMET, Warlock Institute of South Asia, New Delhi, Madam Sheikh Yasmin Basa, IAS, Director Horticulture, Government of Telangana, Sri Uday Bhaskar, Chief General Manager, NABARD Regional Office, Hyderabad, Dr. Narasingha Rao, Dr. A. Bhagwan, Organizing Secretary and Registrar, SKLTGHU, the galaxy of stalwarts present in this auspicious occasion of the inauguration of National Conference, distinguished invitees, distinguished faculty members, deans, professors, students, researchers, ladies and gentlemen. At the outset, I congratulate Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Raja Reddy Saab and the entire team of Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana Horticulture University for organizing such a grand conference on climate change and horticulture, impacts, adaptation, and mitigation strategies. As all of the speakers, especially Agricultural Protection Commissioner and Secretary Agriculture has emphasized, this topic is contemporary, this is need of the hour, and addresses all the aspects of the climate change and horticulture. I also express my deep gratitude to Professor Raj Reddy Saab and the team for inviting me to this occasion and giving an opportunity to learn something about the horticulture, the impact of climate change, and the steps being taken in the state and in the country to mitigate the adverse impacts of the climate change. When I talk of climate change, it is a household name at present, you can say. Everybody, starting with a poor farmer or the fisherman, to a street vendor, to the policymakers like secretaries or our political leaders, including Honorable Prime Minister, are well aware and they all realize the impact of the climate change. The climate is changing, climate has changed in the past, and climate also will change in the future. But the fact is that the climate is changing because of the man-made activities since the Industrial Revolution, which started in 1850, and it has accelerated since 1970s or 80s. It is seen that globally and also in our country and in different states also there is the impact of the climate change. The climate change is a global phenomena, but the impact is a local phenomena. Each and every farmer, each and every street vendor is also experiencing the impact of climate change. And all of us know that the frequency, duration, intensity of various extreme weather events are also increasing. And as a result, it is impacting not only the people, the stakeholders, the socio-economic conditions of our country, but also posing a threat to India Meteorological Department and many other early warning agencies. Because of the climate change, predictability is decreasing. See, if someone is able to predict heavy rainfall 3 days in advance, now because of the climate change, it is able to predict only 1.5 days in advance. But despite that, if you look at the progress of the forecasting, you will find that in the last 10 years, there has been about 40 to 50% improvement in forecasting accuracy. And as a result, it has helped in preparedness, prevention, and mitigation measures. And all of us know and realize that how the death has reduced due to cyclones, due to heat waves, due to cold waves, due to thunderstorms, and heavy rainfall. But still, there are certain challenges, for example, lightning deaths, or challenges due to the squalls, hailstorms, etc., and that needs to be addressed. So when we talk about the adaptations, I say that it is a demand supply chain. Because of the socio-economic conditions, the demand has increased for quality food. Earlier, there was demand for food only because we are lacking in food supply. We did not have the nutritious food. And as Secretary Agriculture mentioned, that still also there are many people who are malnutritious, and there are many women especially who are anemic, and that poses a threat how to improve our food quality, even though now we have got the food surplus country. At the same time, politically, as a country, there has been the clarion call by the Honorable Prime Minister and others that we should diverge into the main staple food towards the food which is required for our body, which is we will reduce the fats. And that means we have to improve our intake about the vitamins, minerals, and others instead of consuming high caloric food. At that time, actually, it was the need to have the high calorie food. We are facing the floods, we are facing the droughts, and we are not able to cope up with the food required. So therefore, we went on consuming more rice. Now also we consume more rice, or in northern India more wheat. But now the time has come that we should diversify, and we should go for the vegetables, the fruits, which can be at least 1/3 to 50% of our consumption. So gradually this demand is also increasing. Now many people are also avoiding taking rice because of many diseases or whatever it is, or apprehending some diseases. I feel that especially the diabetic patients. And similarly also people are avoiding taking the direct wheat. They are going for millets or some other varieties where you can have less gluten, etc. So therefore there is a huge demand for the vegetables and fruits and flowers also. You can say there are certain flowers which are also consumable. And looking at that, we should be prepared to meet these demands. So it is a demand supply chain. So we as the academicians, we as the R&D institutes, we as the policymakers, planners, we should plan, and already we are planning, but we have to accelerate our plan to bridge this gap between demand and supply, and we should plan towards that. So when we say towards that, there are different aspects. So there is aspect of, in the absence of climate change even, there are aspects that if you are producing the vegetables or the fruits, that should be sustainable, that should be durable, so that it can be consumed later on if you keep it. So there should be certain arrangement towards that. It is a policy decision we all take at the state level and the central level. The second point is that the food which we generate nowadays, it should be consumable in the sense that its value is more as compared to the inorganic infusion, what we do in the agriculture or horticulture today. So organic farming has come off a long way, and for this purpose we have to think about that, so that our body does not consume so much of chemicals directly or indirectly. The next point is that there is the impact of the climate change. As we know that we have to adapt the certain practices which can help us to sustain our horticulture farmers' job. Organized horticultural farming is still very less if you compare with the large-scale agricultural practices like rice and wheat. So when we think about that, we have to support them in each and every step. So we have to support in terms of the sustainability of their farming. We have to support instead of the multiple farming at the same time. We have to support the diversification of farming. The area which is under the cultivation of the major crops has to be diverted into the horticultural crops. So towards the directions, I am sure the Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana Horticulture University has taken up many such steps with respect to various aspects of horticulture, even floriculture also. And I came to know yesterday that even the management, post-harvest management is being addressed by the Horticulture University. Therefore, I congratulate all the faculties, experts, scientists working in Horticulture University for their immense contribution towards this direction, so that horticulture can be a good livelihood for exports. We can export. The major threat which come up towards horticulture is the disasters, and especially if there is a heavy spell of rain, sometimes you will find that the vegetables like say bitter gourds or the other vegetables which we consume day-to-day basis are getting affected. And a poor farmer, if he is not aware that there is going to be heavy rain during next 1 or 2 days, so he or she may not be able to harvest those horticultural products. As a result, for even so green vegetables, leaves, what we take also, that also gets affected because of these heavy rain, etc. And the similar also temperature and wind speed, wind directions, moisture, etc. So looking at all these directions, there has been new initiatives by the Minister of Arts Sciences, India Meteorological Department. We are extending, or we are requesting to work together with the horticultural universities, R&D institutes, and organizations, so that we can take off all the R&D aspects and address the requirement of farmers. So Secretary Agriculture has told a very important point that we should keep farmer in our front while planning, or while advising, or while taking any actions for the benefit of the farmers. It should be farmer centric. So considering that the first and foremost thing is that the information generated should reach out to the farmers. So there are mass media communications like All India Radio, Doordarshan, newspapers, etc. But due to this climate change effects, there could be sudden rainfall sometimes. There could be sudden thunderstorms sometimes, and lightning. And more farmers are dying because of the lightning. So taking into consideration that our information should reach to them in a such a way that they can get it immediately, to take immediate actions so as to save the life and livelihood, and also to maximize the products and the interventions for the various types of horticultural products in terms of input cost. So I find that we can minimize the input cost, we can maximize or optimize the various practices with respect to horticultural crops, and also we can increase the yield. So by that way, in these three aspects, we can increase the income of the individual farmer, and also we can provide the support to the society and the income from the agriculture and horticulture for the nation building. So as far as India Meteorological Department is concerned, yes, we started supporting agriculture in 1945. So we have come up a long way. So at present, you will find that we are providing our agrometeorological advisory services that includes horticultural services. And around, I was told that around 75 variety of horticultural crops and agricultural crops are getting benefited through the agrometeorological advisory services. And we took a survey, and that survey was conducted in an area where there is no irrigation, the area where it is the BPL farmers, that means the farmers in below poverty line, and also the farmers which have the marginal land holding, that means they have the lands of less than 2 acres. So we found that if a farmer is utilizing agrometeorological, he or she is gaining at least 12,000 rupees per year. So you may tell that 12,000 rupees is nothing, and it is a small amount. No, it is not a small amount for a poor farmer. It can help to repair his house, or it can help to procure the clothes it can reap entire non-irrigated area and all these BPL family farmers, it becomes around 30,000 crores. It is an independent survey taken up by the National Center for Applied Economic Research. So this promises us that if we can reach out to each and every farmer, if we can develop the services as per the requirement of the farmer in consultation with the farmers, then we can go a long way. And these farmers, what we have considered, it is just 10% of the farmers. So 90% farmers, if you can reach out, we can provide this information as per their requirement, as per their vegetable crops, as per the stage of the crop, then certainly it can help them to maximize the gain. So towards this direction, what we have done actually, the agromet advisory services at present are being developed based on the multimodal ensemble. So it is not dependent on one model. So considering the multimodal ensembles, we minimize the uncertainty. We take care of the uncertainty, and a consensus forecast is generated for each parameter which affects the horticultural crop or agricultural crop. It includes the maximum temperature, minimum temperature, cloud cover, relative humidity, wind speed, wind directions. At the same time also, we have come up with the hazards. And these hazard information is provided in a nowcast every 3 hours and also medium range up to 5 days. And these informations are being communicated apart from mass media nowadays through the mobile app. We have got a Meghdut mobile app through which information goes in local language at the district level and the block level. Now, block level information is generated for each and every block, 7,000 blocks, local language at the district level and the block level. Now, block level information is generated for each and every block, 7,000 blocks, and agromet advisory services for 3,100 blocks are being provided. And recently in 2024, we have gone for Panchayat Mosam Seva, where for every Panchayat, information is being generated. And for this purpose, we have gone with the collaboration with all horticultural and agricultural institutes and also state and agriculture department, central agriculture department, state agriculture university, central agriculture universities, and in consultation, CREDA has also played a role. In consultation, we prepare all these informations on daily basis. So in addition to that, what we have done actually to improve our extension, we have requested each state, and I will tell you Telangana state also is active in these directions, and through state mobile app, the information generated by IMD is also being provided to the farmers. Not only that, now what we have done actually, we have gone for Kisan Suvidha or many other mobile apps through which also information is being provided. Another novel idea we have done that keeping a target that at least 5 farmers in a village should be connected directly with IMD. You may say why directly with IMD? Because there are certain phenomena like lightning, thunderstorms, or heavy, hailstorms or heavy rainfall which can occur immediately, and information should go directly. If you go via media, sometimes after the event only information will reach the person. So we have generated WhatsApp groups, and you will be happy to know that through these WhatsApp groups, we are reaching out almost 6,200 blocks at present. And in each block, the villages are being connected. So we believe that through WhatsApp group, if we can connect 5 villagers, then through gossiping and through whispering, through meeting in the market, in the village, all people will come to know about that. So this is being provided in local language and English and Hindi, that is common, okay. But local language is very important, so we are taking into consideration towards that directions. So while going for further improvement in these directions, so what we feel that to meet the emerging challenges of the climate change and adaptation measures and mitigation measures, so we have to move towards resilience, a resilient society, a resilient farming, a resilient farmer. So with the help of the weather and climate information, this is called as a climate smart agriculture. So objective is that a farmer should be weather ready and a farmer should be climate smart. And this cannot be done by IMD alone. So those who are present here, the stalwarts of experts, with their able guidance, with the leadership of the state and the center, we can work together to meet these challenges. The most important challenge is that when we move towards the next 10 years, the active heavy rainfall events or thunderstorm events, it will be more localized. The localized weather events is a great challenge which we are meeting at present, which will also meet in future. And for this, what should we do? we have to improve our observational system in a localized manner so that we can have observation as many places as possible. Also, we have to utilize the radar systems and satellite systems, which can provide certain areas where we cannot afford to have the observational systems. So therefore, what we are doing actually, we have taken off a mission Mausam, which is planned for next 2 to 3 years. In this mission Mausam, we will have every panchayat, along with the wind system, which is being taken up by the Ministry of Agriculture, every panchayat will have at least one automated weather station or one automated rain gauges. And we will have satellites. We have got 3 satellites now, inside 3 series. Now we will go inside 4 series of satellites. We have got 40 radars and we'll go for 126 radars. Objective is that radar should be redundant, so that, because radar, why I'm putting up the stress, because radar has a resolution of 350 meters. Every 350 meters, hydrometeor or any particle can be detected. Whereas in satellite, it is every 4 kilometers. So therefore, if I want to give a localized forecast for Mulugu, I cannot utilize the satellite. So radar can help in identifying what is happened, whether it is happened in Mulugu or it is happened somewhere else. So radar provides that because of that. And the second point is that radar looks from the below. The satellite looks from a distance of 36,000 kilometers. So therefore, resolution is quite less and clarity is less. So third point is that radar data also can be assimilated along with the satellite data. And at present, we are assimilating satellite data in our numerical models. With radar data, we can assimilate and provide the better forecast. Forecast accuracy can improve by 10 to 15% that we are planning by 2030 because of this augmentation of the observational systems. In addition, also, we want to understand the entire 3-dimensional structure of the atmosphere. So that we are putting up wind profiler and microradiometer, and it is being put off all across the state, including Telangana. So therefore, certainly Telangana state will have our prime focus with respect to the establishment of radars, wind profilers, microradiometers. Already Telangana state is in advanced stage with respect to the automated weather stations, but whatever we are planning also, that will augment the automated weather stations and automated rain gauges. So as far as information dissemination is concerned, not only it should be one-way traffic, we should have the two-way traffic. So we have to develop a system where the farmers can directly give the benefit on real time, and these informations can be factored into in the same time to take into consideration the requirement of the forecast, early warning, and advisory services. So therefore, there is still scope to work together, all the institutions involved here, and Telangana state can be a role model to provide the better information services to the farmers, especially the horticultural farmers, and it can lead the nation in terms of the societal benefits and economic benefits out of the services being generated jointly by the state and central organizations, state government, central government. Secretary Saab is here, and I am here. We can go for further collaboration. We are already collaborating. I should express my thanks and gratitude to the state Agriculture Department and Telangana State for their wholehearted support and contribution towards the growth of meteorology and weather services. And I am sure that in future also we will work towards this direction. Here, I just want to say that IMD has got two important strengths. One is, all of us know, that is the nodal agency to provide the weather monitoring services, forecasting services, early warning services. In addition, there is another one, that is the climate services. If you want to make it climate resilient, you should have Agrawal Service here. He has also done a lot of work about the climate hazard and vulnerability. So we should know, with respect to specific horticulture, what is the hazard and vulnerability in a particular village or in a particular panchayat or in a particular tehsil or block. So that study is essential so that you can have the knowledge risk. Once you have got knowledge risk, that knowledge risk can be utilized for improving the impact expected and action to be taken by each and every farmer. Because there is a huge difference also, even if you go from one village to other village. So this is one thing we can work towards that, and there it needs research. It is not simply weather and climate, it is the socioeconomic conditions, it is the geospatial data, which will be needed for that to improve this impact information generation and risk assessment for each and every village in the static form, and then finally in a dynamic scenario we can generate on day-to-day basis and can provide it to. Okay, so here lies the opportunity for academic R&D institutes and especially the Srikonda Laswan Telangana Horticulture University. The second point is that we have a strength in terms of we are 150 years old. So you may feel that old is gold, it is right. At the same time also you may feel that behind, these are old organizations and what is the strength actually? It has become old. No, it is not like that. Even if we are old organization, if you take the average age of India Environmental Department, it will be around 40. So we are young, energetic, and we are anxious to work with various organizations. So it is because we have got the past knowledge. It is a powerhouse of knowledge with respect to agriculture, horticulture. I told you it has come up from 1945. Second point is that we have got knowledge about the weather and climate. We have come up lot of data. We have got the digital data from 1901. You can utilize this data, especially the students, the researchers, practitioners, those are present here. They can utilize IMD data. And I'm assuring you from this dais that we will provide you free of cost data. You utilize our data. We have made it open. You can go to climate data portal, you can get the data. You can go to our IMD website, you can get the data. If you are facing any problem, you can write to us. We'll sort out the problem. We'll ensure you that data are provided you free. But this data should be utilized for research purpose. The data should be utilized to develop some kind of tools. You may develop a mobile app, for example. You may develop some kind of application tool for a particular village. That will help the farmer. So for this purpose, for example, you may prepare, for example, mustard, or for cotton, or some other particular agriculture or particular horticulture. You may be interested to provide this information, which is not at present being generated. It is a generalized information being generated by IMD, which is going to, and statement together, we can prepare the information very specific to a specific agriculture. So that is possible. That is a huge scope for agriculture and horticulture research and development towards these directions, and we are willing towards that. And finally, the Panchayat Motion Seva, what I told you, if you are interested to know what is the weather for next 10 days, please write your Panchayat name, you will get a forecast. Please write otherwise your PIN code, you will get a forecast. Please write your block name, you will get a forecast. Tahsil name, you will get a forecast. District name, you will get a forecast. If you do not know anything, go to our mobile app Mosam, click anywhere approximately where you want, you will get a forecast. And if you are so educated, you can write latitude, longitude, also you can get a forecast. So what we are trying actually, we are trying to reach out to the common man. The common man can access our mobile app or website, can get the information of his or her choice. The information is provided every hour up to say 36 hours, every 3 hours up to 5 days, and every 6 hours up to 10 days. And beyond that, also we have got extended forecast issued every Thursday, valid for next 2 weeks. And this information can help you to plan what is to be done of sowing, whether you will go for sowing or whether you go for harvesting during next 15 days. That can help you by utilizing, okay, this one. Then in addition, we have got the seasonal forecast. For example, this year we told that there will be very good rainfall activity. Okay, and we told that starting from Andhra Pradesh, South Odisha, Telangana, up to Vidarbha, and towards Maharashtra, that is coastal Karnataka and Konkan area, there will be excess rainfall activity, and there could be therefore flooding, heavy rainfall, township also can. So this information is being provided 4 months in advance, in 15th of April, which was adopted again in 26th of May. And following that, for every month we gave the forecast. So what a farmer can do? A farmer forecast is not being issued 4 weeks in advance, but we are giving a generalized forecast. एक मैसेज जा रहा है फार्मर के लिए, इस बार अच्छा बारिश होगा. So this message helped, and our Secretary Agriculture there, 27 lakh hectare more sowing has been done this year. And Secretary Agriculture, Secretary Fertilizer, and all concerned at the central level and also at the state level, they have taken action to adapt this expected rainfall so that we can minimize the losses and maximize the gain. And that is possible. I'll tell you, I can say that this year we'll have good growth. But at the same time, when you got a good monsoon year, you will have the disasters like say floods, droughts, etc. Certain area, say northeast we told that it will be deficient rainfall. There is a deficient rainfall. We told excess rainfall in most parts, except some parts of South Peninsula, that has happened. So now we have to utilize this information. Now should have the strength. So what action you can take? You can take early warning action within 5 days only, but you can take anticipatory action 4 months in advance. Similarly, we have got another information like climate change, that the days of onset is changing. So for example, Telangana, there is a slight delay in onset of monsoon. It is not coming in the same day when it was coming earlier. Of course, South Kerala, South Tamil Nadu, and that dates are remaining same. But if you go to little more Telangana, or if you go to North Andhra Pradesh, or if you go to, there is a slight delay. So we should adapt that practice. Delay, if occurs, what should be our approach towards sowing, vegetation, and harvesting, etc. At the same time, whatever you have done, if you cannot manage the harvest, then also it goes waste. Therefore, during harvest also, all the weather information which is being generated, that should be utilized, apart from other aspects like the storing and the capacity building of the farmer and the society, so that no loss is there with respect to these horticultural crop products and agricultural products. So with this, what I want to say that there is a huge scope to adapt and mitigate the uh, various adverse impact of the climate change. And I am sure that as in the past year, we have overcome the various challenges, and we have shown that the food production can increase, weather forecast can improve, it can help the society in terms of the agriculture. Despite the threat from climate change, in future also, we can demonstrate so, if we work together, if we plan together, and if we execute together. I am sure our farmers also are gaining their knowledge, they are responding, they are working. The response section from farmers has also improved over the years. Every hundi is getting information, I just informed to tell you. So with this, I am sure that not only our farmers and the entire country will benefit from the various adaptive and mitigative measures being taken up, the strategies being developed at the state level and the central level. And this conference which we are being organized today will certainly help to brainstorm among us the various aspects, the gap areas, and the future plans which have developed so far, what improvement is required towards this direction, so that we can maximize our thought towards the horticultural crops and hence help the farmers. So I thank once again the organizers for giving me the opportunity to speak on this occasion. And I also express my highest regards to all the stalwarts present here. And I congratulate Special V.V. Raman Rao for his contribution and writing a poem on me. Thank you very much. So wish you all the best. And I'm sure the recommendations taken out from this conference will be utilized by all of us. And certainly we'll take actions on the recommendations. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring address, highlighting the impact of climate change and emphasizing climate resilient practices. And thank you for enlightening the gathering on the role of IMD and making us aware of how to explore and utilize the weather data for weather casting. So thank you once again, sir, and a big round of applause to our Honorable Chief Guest, the program with a short vote of thanks followed by the national anthem. I would like to invite Dr. D. Lakshminarayan sir, Director of Research, to propose vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to all. On behalf of Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana Horticulture University, it is my proud privilege to propose the vote strategies Climate Heart 2025. At the outset, I extend my deepest gratitude to our chief guest, Dr. Mrutyunjay Mahapatra sir, Director General of Meteorology, IMD, Government of India, New Delhi, for gracious this occasion with his esteemed presence and delivering an inspiring inaugural address. Sir, your insightful message has set the right tone for this conference, sir. Thank you, sir. I sincerely thank our distinguished guest, Sri M. Raghunandan Rao Garu, IAS, AP Senate Secretary, Agriculture and Cooperation, Government of Telangana, and Dr. Pramod Kumar Agarwal, Regional Program Leader, CIMIT, Borlag Institute of South Asia, New Delhi, for their valuable perspectives and guidance. Thank you, sir. I place on record my heartfelt thanks to the guest of honors, Srimad Sheikh Ashmin Basha, IAS Director of Horticulture, Government of Telangana, Sri B. Uday Bhaskar Garu, Chief General Manager, NABARD, Regional Office, Hyderabad, Sri B. Narsimharao, Additional Director of Agriculture. Thank you all, sir. My sincere thanks to our Honorable Vice Chancellor, Sri Konda Lakshman Telangana Horticulture University, Dr. D. Rajareddy Garu, for presiding over this inaugural session and for his constant leadership and support. Thank you, sir. I extend my appreciation to Dr. A. Bhagwan, Organizing Secretary and Regional Registrar, SKLTGHU, for his warm welcome and tireless efforts for this conference. We gratefully acknowledge the support of our collaborative partners, the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India, NABARD Regional Office, Hyderabad, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, Central Agriculture Institute, Bihar, Department of Horticulture, Government of Telangana, for joining hands with our university to make this event a reality. A special word of thanks to the platinum sponsor, Department of Agriculture, Government of Telangana, gold sponsors, TG Oilfed, Government of Telangana, Coromandel International Limited, Hyderabad, and silver sponsors, TG Online, Netafim, Dana Crop Sciences Limited, Blend Colors, Pasura, FAS, IFCO, and Kapila Gross, whose generous support has enabled us to successfully organize this national event. I extend my sincere gratitude to all the keynote and lead speakers for their gracious presence in this two-day conference, which adds great strength to this event. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the gracious presence of several eminent retired professors and stalwarts in the fields of horticulture and agrometeorology, whose lifelong contributions continue to inspire us. I also extend heartfelt to the publication committees and the contributing authors for their dedicated efforts in bringing out the conference publications and souvenir. I wish to place on record our gratitude to the conference organizing committee members, faculty and staff of SKLTGHU, as well as the head and staff of Forest College and Research Institute, FCRI, for their meticulous arrangements and untiring efforts in hosting this conference. We also sincerely thank the press and electronic media fraternity for giving wide coverage of this conference to the larger public. Finally, I convey my gratitude to all the scientists, researchers, industry representatives, progressive farmers, delegates, and participants who have gathered here from different parts of the country. With these few words, I once again extend my heartfelt thanks to all of you for your gracious presence and encouragement. Thank you, one and all. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your elaborate vote of thanks. We'll conclude this inaugural program with national anthem. Now I request all to please be standing for the national anthem.
Janaganamana Adhinayaka Jaya He Bharata Bhagya Vidhata Punjab Sindh Gujarat Maratha Dravida Uttara Banga Vindhya Himachal Yamuna Ganga Jala Jaladhi Taranga शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे Jaya 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 He.
Thank you all. With this, we conclude the inaugural program of this two days national conference. I thank every one of you for making this program a grand success, and special thanks to our chief guest as well as distinguished guests. Now I request all to please join for high tea, which is arranged at the ground floor, in the ground floor. So please, I request all to join us for high tea in the ground floor for 15 minutes, and the technical session will begin after the high tree. And I request all to please reassemble here only after the high tea within 15 minutes, please. Already we are running short of time. So please, I request all the students, delegates, participants to reassemble.